It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are watching the GSL Talk Show. Tonight, I know this is a very, very special episode because, yes, your girl Allie Carter is in the building here on GSL once again, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the GSL Talk Show. As you can see, this lady truly needs no introduction, but here she is for the first time, technically, on the GSL Talk Show.
Technically.
Allie Carter, y'all. Yay!
Thank you, sis. Hey, y'all.
Oh,
It's
hold on, sister. Hold on. Hold on. Can you help me real quick? Because we got to do this before the people.
okay. Okay.
It
Oh,
is
yes.
June
Let me
28th. It is June 28th.
help you.
Do y'all see that?
You know, everybody like that's AI.
I almost forgot. It is current. Now, we don't usually do this on the GSL Talk Show, but we got to look. June 28th. Is it June 28th for you as
June
well?
28th.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it is. June 28th.
No AI. This is recent. Okay.
Just making sure everybody with us. Check your calendar.
I know this gonna come out in the future, but it's very recent. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Had to just make sure, sis.
Oh man, people.
Felt
I know, because we're gonna get started in so much stuff and people just get so confused. So that's the one thing that let's just try to stay with us.
Yes.
Stay with us.
Well, look, I'm gonna try to
thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I was gonna say I'm gonna try to treat it as a normal conversation for GSL Talk Show like I usually do. But I mean, with you being the second face that is most seen on this channel, I mean, this question's gonna be weird. But hey, why don't you introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Okay.
You could tell us where you're from if you want to say that part too, but
no. Tell you a little bit of little background. Hey y'all. My name is Allison Leilani Carter for those who don't know of me, and thank you so much for those who do. I am 31 years old now. Praise God. I made it 31 years. I am a 31-year-old woman. So to squash those rumors of I'm a kidnapped little girl, not anymore.
Oh,
okay.
This is why with my slide, I said we getting messy. Starting off strong. Let's go.
I got more. You know I do. So yeah, I'm 31. I am a sex trafficking survivor, satanic ritual abuse, child protective services from Riverside County, California survivor. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about child protective services in my situation. Those who don't want to talk about it, I know where you stand. But those who do are trying to find out, trying to figure out. I was in the child protective services government system for a little bit. My mom is right here.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, it's my mom. Ray Carter. That's the real one. that's the only one. That's the number one. So she's here with me, and we, all jokes aside, we're trying to find some type of So we're gonna have a long talk with y'all today. I hope y'all can stay with us. But yeah, I've been through a lot, and we're gonna dig into a small timeline if we can. But going back, just giving y'all a very short timeline. I've seen CPS reports. I have copies of CPS reports. I was given the reports by Child Protective Services custody when I turned 18 years old. They handed us a lot of our information. And then while in the system, I was told a lot that CPS was called in the beginning when I was 3 months old. I have that. We have showed that. I don't know how that is so misconstrued. Some people have asked, how does a 3-month-old child know what happened to them? I, there are documents, and there's so much documentation from when I was a baby, um, that CPS has been called since way before me, since 1987, actually, in the um, very corrupt uh, predator's home that I was in as a child. And when I turned about, I was abused a lot throughout that home. And I mean, again, CPS was called. I don't know if you could share those documents on your screen once again. There's so many, and we have so many more, but it's just so hard to continue to put out. I don't think there's anybody really on the internet putting out as many receipts as we have. I don't really see anyone putting out as many receipts as we have, from top to bottom, from locations to names to ages. I don't see that, and I don't know about you, that who you're listening right now. Can you think about that? Have you really seen anyone put out as many receipts as we have given y'all? If you go back, I know there are so many people here that have seen us since we went viral in 2020. So you've been sitting here for a while with us, like you yourself, Miracle, and you're that miracle to us that have been sitting here since 2020 to see the truth from the get go. Um, and at first, I was like, to be able to just talk, to be able to speak. At first, I was like, I had never been there. Sorry, I'm jumping. I was abused as a child. Um, in the home that I was in, there were 6 girls that were being shuffled around, all different fathers. Um, there were 6 girls who were going through 6 different versions of hell in the same home. Um, and my version of hell in that home was being beat and being used as a sex toy, um, amongst many other things. And this happened up until I was about 12 or 13 years old. And when I turned 12, I'm telling you right now, I thought it was normal. And in the Black community, there is so many things going on in Black homes that we don't talk about. And I'm not trying to get into it just with the Black culture, because I know that this is everyone's culture. There's dirt in everyone's backyard that people don't want to talk about and don't want to touch, because it hits home too close. So we'd rather go into somebody else's backyard to talk about it. But when we talk about the Black community in general, a lot of the versions of what happens in my house stays in the house. And I will beat my kid so society doesn't beat my kid, and the slave bandwagon that people still try to jump um, out of the Black community, but not talking about what's going on Black crimes in Black homes. Um, I was sold to this predator's. I don't call that's not a mother. I don't know if that's a breeder. I'm not sure if that's an incubator. I'm not sure if that's a holder. I would call it a madame or a mistress, from the way that she brutally tried to crush the spirit and the life out of her own so-called children. But at 12 years old, I started asking questions. I was raped a lot. I was traumatized a lot. I was physically beaten to the point I would have to be taken out of school. It was not just me. Um, like I said, it was not just me, and I hold those records for as well for those. But again, to each its own. Um, I mean, like I said, the calls were made since 1987, and I have those receipts. God forbid anything ever happened to us. We have insurance holders, as we call, all around the world, that hold a lot of the information that we're holding, those cards that we hold so close to our chest. And we do that because it's hard for people to fathom the truth. It's easier for people to digest BS, and it is so hard for people to swallow the pill of truth. It takes forever for people to get close to the truth, but people sway real quick to rumors, lies, chaos, and confusion. And as a child, I started asking questions. I started asking other kids, how do you get in trouble? I started asking other kids, um, what is your family like? I started asking around, like, is this okay? And when I started getting answers back and seeing how other people were responding to me, I'm like, something's not right. At 12 years old, my so-called, they wanted to call her a mother. I don't call anything close to that creature a mother. We'll get into that in a little bit. Um, I'm sure GSL supporters and everybody else know who I'm talking about. A love secretion. Um, a secretion of Satan. Anywho, um, I at 12 years old, I was being laid over her lap every time she would drop me off with these boyfriends that would rape and abuse me. And she would come home sometimes and check on me. And she would lay me across her lap and look between my legs. I don't know what she was looking for. I don't understand it. Never understood it. And again, I always thought things were normal, um, until 12 years old. And I was like, I can't do this anymore, especially when it became being brutalized by authority, being brutalized by my own principals, my own doctors, my own, the police departments and things in my area. Um, I started, like, okay, this is enough. Um, there was nothing that I could do to get away from it. There was nothing I could do to get out of it because the ties to the last name, the ties to the elite, dark, deep secrets that this these predators hold in unity. Um, as you're seeing now, as you've seen with so many different things, from the Diddy trial to the Epstein trial to real life, into what's going on right here, right now. You're seeing that so many things are covered up by so many people from the top to the bottom. So every time I tried to do anything to get help, to speak out, it was shut down. Anytime there were phone calls made, that got a little too close to home, it was shut down. Anytime CPS came out, there was a whole facade that was put on. Um, People knew about what was going on. There were tapes. There was tapes in the back of the closet from this person. She was brutalizing her children. I mean, beating them to the point, and I have that as well. Beating them to the point that one of them was had severe hyperthyroidism. She was about 15 years old at the time that this was going on, and she was beating her, and then she was lactose intolerant as well. So she would pour milk down her throat. She would try to stand on her neck to squash these big lumps that were coming from her severe thyroid. Just when she would make her mad, she was just her punching bag. And um, then it got to when she was barely able to move, and anytime somebody pissed her off, she would come back in to beat the hell out of her. And uh, at one point, she would start making tapes of it, shoving milk and things down her throat to see if she would poop herself, pee herself. Um, she would take these videos, and then um, she would call someone when the neighbors were asking too many questions, if police were knocking on the door, if CPS came out because they heard or whatever. Then it was, oh, oh, it's the kids. Oh, no, it wasn't me. Oh, no, I'm just trying to be someone. Narcissist. I mean, I know so many people have had a narcissistic family member, a narcissistic relationship, a narcissistic something in their life where you can kind of see the patterns of all narcissists are the same. So she would do these things, and then try to shove cleaning agents, bleach, pine sol, things like that down her throat. And then she would call someone and say, oh, they're having a mental breakdown and I don't know what's going on. I don't even know where these bruises are coming from, but she needs to be 5150. And this was the life that was happening in this home. So at 12 years old, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I tried to kill myself. I was at a point where I was like, there's nothing I can do to fight the things that were going on with me at night. I was being beat and destroyed during the day, and every night at clockwork at 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, multiple men, like a revolving door. I mean, this woman had so many men through her home. It was like bus stop schedule. You don't know which one was coming next, and just terrorizing her kids. Um, when I was 12 or 13 and I started being raped in my own closet with coat hangers, uh, being told that it was all okay, I was like, I have to do something. I can't take it anymore. Um, that didn't work. uh, then I went into a mental hospital about 12, 13 years old, back and forth. I was in and out of shelters, trying to get away. And then I want to say about 14 and a half, uh, there was a huge attempt. I was had a lot had a lot of people holding me down, trying to force me to do something, trying to force me to be okay with being tortured and being someone's sex slave. And I was like, I can't. Um, I went into Chino Hills Mental Hospital in Chino Hills, California, and I was there for about a month. And I remember talking to the doctors, and they're asking me, what can we do? And I said, go ahead, send me back, because I know that's what you're going to do. I know this how this works. Um, they seen the reports, they looked at everything, and they were like, all right, I think it's time that you go into foster care. And foster care was introduced at 14 and a half. Do y'all hear me? Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Can you hear me, sis? Did you hear
I
that? That foster care. I know you know. Is it, excuse me, the foster care? I went into foster care. Y'all hear me? From
mm-hmm.
14 and a half, 15 years old. In September 2009, I went into foster care from the Chino Hills Mental Hospital.
Mm.
Okay. And from foster care, I never looked back. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? If you've ever been in a narcissistic, abusive, any type of relationship, I want you to hear me. Stop for a second. I don't care if you hate me. Stop for a second and just think what it would take to never look back to where you came from. Have you ever thought about that, sis? Like, if you had somebody tell you, I walked away from something that I never turned around. I never asked for help. I never wanted to be spit on if I was on fire. I never wanted to know if anybody was checking on. I didn't care. I walked away at 14 and a half, and I said I would rather go to hell than spend one more day in this hell that I'm already going through. Do you understand what I'm saying? I understand that everybody has a different hell to deal with, but the same devil to play with. I understand that. But I went at 14 and a half years old and said I would rather go to whatever than to turn back around and look at the people that have tried to deem me as unlovable and nothing but a sex toy and a puppet. I never looked back. I am now 31 years old. I need people to hear this. I'm saying this over and over again because I'm hoping that this gets into the people's head that it needs to, because this part is missing from a lot of people's rumors, content. There's so many content creators that are trafficking me, asking you for money. I have never asked for money. I've never asked for a dime. Nothing. I don't want anybody's money. I don't want anybody's dime. I would appreciate if you open your damn eyes and see the truth. That's all I want. I've put out my information. I've been bare. I have reopened every scar and relived every wound for you to see the truth that is right in front of you and in your backyard as well. So hear me when I say at 14 and a half, I don't know if anybody can repeat this in the comments as you're listening to this, but at 14 and a half,
14 and a
I,
half.
I walked away
She walked away
and never turned around to look back.
and she never turned around to look back.
I am now 31 years old.
31 years old.
And now there are people telling me you need to go back to where you came from.
We've seen those comments in our comments.
Okay. And what I want to understand, I want to know from those people that how would you feel if I put you back in the place that you never want to be in again? I want you to go back. I don't care what they said about you. If you had that boyfriend in your life, if you had that girlfriend in your life, if you had that evil person in your life, whether it was your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, a dog, I don't care who it was. I want you to go back. How would you do it? After how many, hear me, 14 and a half. It has been 16 years. And I am a whole new woman and not even close to the person that people tried to make me out to be. But I have people telling me that I need you to go back there because all of a sudden I want you back. All of us, who do you want? Because the 14 and a half little girl, she's no longer here. The 31-year-old woman that is sick of the bullshit, she's tired and she don't want anything to do with you. So what do you want me to go back to? And if it was you, would you go back to that relationship that I'm talking about? Would
No,
you head back to that abuse? Would you want to turn around to that person that tore you down, made you someone that you couldn't even dream of? Do you want to head back? Go back and talk to them. If I talk to that person that I'm talking about in your life right now, and they told me the exact opposite of you, if I told you, you know what, get up and go back and sit in that environment, sit in that atmosphere. 16 years later of toxicity, 16 years later of constant toxic that you already knew was toxic. It's like those family members that people go and see on the holidays that they know damn well they don't want to be there in those clothes. They don't want to sit there and have that conversation. They don't want to be there to talk to them. They know that person doesn't like them, doesn't care about them breathing, only checks on them when there's a funeral or a holiday that somebody needs some money or something to get out of it. So you know what I'm talking about. That toxicity that you know will never go away. Go back to it and tell me how you feel. But I have people that are telling me at 31 years old, as a grown woman, forcing me the same way somebody else forced me, that I'm trying to tell you. Does it make sense to you? Does it really make
no,
sense?
no.
Does
It
it
does not make
just
sense to me.
a miracle? Have
Yeah.
you ever had a narcissist, any type of toxic type of, even in your family? Have you had any type of toxicity somewhere in your life?
Oh yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I've been through a few debacles. Yes, I have. I couldn't help but reflect on them as you was reflecting on yours. And no, ma'am, I wouldn't want to go back neither to none of them
Yeah.
things. Now,
16 years later.
I do, I appreciate what I went through because maybe who I am today, right? But outside of that,
Exactly.
going back though, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, no. And what sense would it make if a random stranger told you, just because I heard the truth of it, I heard one side, I want you to go back and sit in it. For what? For who?
I ignore them comments honestly, just because again, like I said, I didn't even listen to none of the smear campaign. The only stuff that I even
Right.
interacted with was the things that was people was coming on the channel to say, and for me, I just was confused because I'm like, if y'all heard anything about this young lady's testimony, there were, and I never heard you say the person's name until this year, until 2025. Okay, for the record,
I
so
didn't
I
say it. They
didn't know
said it.
who the person was. I just know that there was a Syria is what I heard over the past 4-5 years that we've been
Thank
in
you.
communication.
Yeah.
So anytime
I
Sarah
didn't
was
want to
mentioned,
give Satan the
listen,
satisfaction to speak and conjure up what you see right now.
I
It's
mean,
like
so
you say it
anytime,
3 times and you see what come out, like Beetlejuice. I don't know. I don't know. It just rise from the dead and the disgusting. And then the next thing you know, there's people paying to traffic more. Do you notice these content creators that popped up with it?
I
Did you
can
notice that?
see and hear
And do
about
you
that.
notice that the money that's being collected? I wonder if people know that on certain platforms, if you like a video, sometimes the platforms are paid. That's why I don't monetize any of my things. I understand there are some people who monetize their things for their livelihood, for their talk shows, to continue with investigative journalism. I understand that, but there's a transparency when and integrity with that. And if there's a transparency and you see results coming from what you see and not chaos and confusion, then hey, to each its own. And I don't fault you at that. Money don't grow on trees and things don't just happen just to happen. So I get that. But then when you look at it, and I say all the time, we're all guilty of what's going on with trafficking. We're all guilty. Red, blue side, I don't care which side you stand on. It's not a political, it's not a religious, it's not a sexual orientation issue, it's a humanity issue. So we're all guilty and we all play a part in this somehow. You sign the checks of the rich every day. So you're feeding the torture of children by things like this, and people are still trafficking me through my voice. And then there's people sitting there throwing pennies at it and
Can I say,
just
for the record, because I mean, since you here, you know what I'm saying, I do want to say thank you, but to your face and whatnot, because the thing is, like, for me in GSL, because I know and we can go through my whole little journey. I'll be, trying to keep people informed, especially once this flood of people came, after the Diddy situation. I kept trying to say, hey, my name's Miracle. I'm not Allie. You know what I'm saying? Allie's over here. Allie's over here. Allie'sArmy.com, and stuff like that. But people are still here, and we appreciate those that still support. But I feel like now, this just me. You could correct me if I'm wrong, since you were here. But I felt like there was a little something different about GSL versus these other content creators, because I feel like because you came here and we had already talked a few times and people was just now paying attention to the content that we had put out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a little something different about here versus everybody. I'm like, because everybody else is sharing it and never got no,
Like it's brand new information
from you by being here, as well as I was in a group things and it was like, hey, everybody share videos, and we shared them 3 years ago, and y'all just now seeing them now and coming on the channel. And so I just felt like that was I do appreciate that I guess technical cosign of GSL and whatnot, just because I don't know. Like I said, when you actually have come to the channel, I feel like nobody else had. I mean, you went other places. I'm not saying you ain't go nowhere else. But what I'm saying is these people that was popping up out of nowhere and then I guess smearing and all this other stuff or grabbing content and sharing or whatever they're doing. I'm like, well, there's still something different about us just because I actually talked to her. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just interesting. This whole journey, but I'm so glad that you are finally back on the channel.
and I want to thank GSL too. Most of all, you, Miracle. Always thank to God, always first and foremost.
Yeah.
But I want to thank the supporters here on GSL for your discernment, for your real hearts, for your presence, because a lot of you have been here for a minute, and for those of you who are just now tuning in, some of you are already seeing things completely clear, and for that I really appreciate you. I appreciate those who have been here asking questions, praying, just sending your love, because some people are just like, I don't know what else to do, so I'm sending love, I'm doing my research, I'm trying, not just for my story but in general what you're speaking of overall. The message we carry is priceless, the truth is priceless, and there's people paying for our truth on other platforms. There's people paying for the chaos and the confusion on other platforms, but my truth has always been priceless on this entire time that we have been viral on this internet. We're nobody special. We're nobody. We are just like you and me. We are trying to do something, and just kind of the ones that are extremely loud about it right now. So I really want to thank everybody that's on here, especially those of you that are in the Black community, because it takes a lot to see through the statistics of society. It takes a lot to see through the chaos and confusion laid and traps laid for the Black community, just like they're being laid, in politics and everything else. So it takes a lot to um, open your eyes, your heart, your mind to everything that is going on. And I really, really, really appreciate everybody that is on here, um, that has stood by the truth, not just my story, but the truth on GSL. Thank you. Thank you so much more. And thank you is not enough. Thank you.
Girl, listen, you the co-host of the channel at this point. I mean, just because like I just thank God for, like you said, discernment, because when I came across you, and I mean, y'all know we talked about it over and over and over again about my reasons of saying like why your story stood out to me more than it probably would have if I didn't, do the movie that I did, and God had already kind of like been working on me about this area, and then hearing your story was like, this is why I did the movie. Like, thank you all for confirmation. And then it just got beyond that and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is she talking about? Wait a minute, what is SRA? Wait a minute, what is this? What is that? And I'm doing my research and things are making sense. Like, and then I'm seeing things like Out of Shadows, the documentary, and like all these different things. And it's making sense about the propaganda, making sense about what's. So for me, when I heard your testimonies, I just was like, okay, this is what's happening to the missing people, because I've seen missing people everywhere. Like, people are still posting on social media that my family member is missing, male and female, men, women, and children and stuff like that. And so it's happening to everybody, and it's affecting. And unfortunately, I think, like, until it affects you and your family, sometimes it seems like we either overlook it or just kind of brush it to the side, or I don't know. But I'm like, why does it have to happen to your family for you to take notice and do something? And
A
so,
lot of people don't want to do anything until it's personal. It's easier to watch someone else's pain. It's easier to feel like you're partaking in someone else's fight. It's not easy to be in your own war. It's not easy to be in your own fight. And when you honestly look at everything, like we just said, I from foster care to being an adult to being in the life, to being sold to elite, to everything down below and in the middle, my whole, after I stopped for a minute and took a second to get clean, took a second to heal, took a second to be around people who actually love me and want the best for me, I stopped and was like, wait a minute. I have people that have told me I left them, or I'm a traitor to those that I have been in life with and suffered with. And I stop now, and I have a lot of survivor's guilt. But now, as a 31-year-old woman, did you hear that? As a 31-year-old woman, I stop and think, I made that decision. At 16 years old, I was sold to Russia. And I made a decision to run not only from CPS, Child Protective Services custody, because they were playing a part in it. Riverside County Child Protective Services custody was playing a part in it. Riverside County Child Protective Services custody was playing a part in the trafficking that already began as a child. One more time.
but wait, no, you
Riverside.
don't say locations. Tell me a location, LA. Let me stop. Let me start it.
Tell me where the children are. Riverside County Child Protective Services custody was playing a part in the human sex trafficking of me and other children in their custody in Child Protective Services. I'm gonna slow down. There's also DCFS. Is it? What do y'all call it in your area?
People call it what, defects, right? Is that how they say it?
Yeah, DCFS, but Child Protective Services. People wonder where they're getting these supplies in droves of 100 children, 200 children. They ain't just come. The children don't just come up missing. Riverside County Child Protective Services custody in California, United States of America, was playing a part in my trafficking. They took me from one trafficking situation and then got paid for it just as much as the content creators that you are paying for chaos and confusion, when they want you to tap the screen and like it so you can hear chaos and confusion and they can help you torture and traffic my pain. Riverside County Child Protective Services custody played a part in my trafficking. So at 16 years, did you hear me? 16 years, one more time, 16 years old. I am now, how old am I? How old are we? See, oops. You just heard the ID. We'll get there later. How old are we? 16 years old. I ran from Child Protective Services custody because I was sold to Russia. I called my social worker. There are documentations. They're everywhere. They're already posted, but we'll put them up again here for you. I know. Please. I'm not talking to those who I know some people are like, stop talking to them. I know. I can feel somebody is gonna say it, but I'm talking to those who still don't get it. Where do you think these children are coming from? What authority do you think is being? It's the same with the Diddy shenanigans. Did you see on that case? The hotel manager was guilty. The security was guilty. The friends were guilty. The maids that cleaned the room of the blood and the glass that they knew people were being tortured in the room was guilty. The outside, whoever was driving that bus of children that they were dropping off at Diddy's house was guilty. The friends knew that they were being abused. Whoever else was at those freak off parties that we don't want to talk about, because Maureen Comey, the prosecutor, has not asked one time, has anybody else witnessed the children? Nobody. Nobody's talking about the children. Nobody's talking about the children. The children. Where do you think they're getting these children from? Riverside County Child Protective Services custody was playing a part in my trafficking. I called my social workers. I called the ombudsman. My mom was calling everybody. My mom stepped in as a mentor. There's people who, my mom just kidnapped me. How did I end up with this white twin? But to talk about the middle, in the middle. I didn't just run straight from her at the mother's home and to her arms, did I? Why are we not talking about the middle? And if somebody cares so bad about what I'm doing, where I've been, or which way I should be now, then where was everybody at 16 years old when I was being trafficked to Russia? 15 years old when I was being trafficked to the elites on the streets of Decatur in Las Vegas, Nevada. Where was everybody when I was in the homes and in the cars of predators? Where was everybody when Child Protective Services was gaining an $800 to $1,000 check on the foster homes that were raping and abusing me? Where was everybody when a Russian buyer came in and brought me for over $1 million to take me out of this country? Where was everybody when I crossed the country? Where was everybody when I crossed the state lines? Where was the FBI when I left the country? Where was this rage at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and now here we are at 31 years old as of January 2025. Now we care? Do y'all really believe that? So if you look at the Diddy case, let's scoot over because some people only speak elite because we don't want to speak about our backyard. So let's speak elite for a second. When you scoot over and you see that Cassie was 19 years old, Cassie Ventura was 19 years old. How old is Sean Combs' daughters? People are addressing them as kids. Why isn't anybody addressing Cassie as a kid in that situation? Just because you see a grown woman that was pregnant sitting right in front of you? When she went through all these things, she was 19 years old. What 18, 19-year-old that you know that just graduated from high school that is able to deal with half of the things that you heard her say she dealt with? How is it okay that everybody is addressing the twins and his other daughter, Chance Combs, as kids, but we're not addressing Cassie as a kid? We just now got celebrities coming out saying, I left the party early. I didn't have anything to do with it. Why are you now coming out to say something now? We have people coming out to say, well, I knew that Cassie was being abused. Why are you saying something now? We saw people say that there were children at the party. There were busloads of kids, but nobody wants to talk about it sitting on the case. You know, a lot of people really want me to be a witness on this case. Let's talk about that for a second, too. Has anybody ever gotten a traffic ticket? Do we know what the word jurisdiction means? I want to talk to y'all about this, and I'm not trying, for those who are sincerely like, I don't understand why you're not a witness. Okay, come on, come here, sit down, get in the car. Come on, we're gonna sit next to Miracle. Let's talk about this. Come here. We let me talk to you for a second. Scoot over, Miracle. Scoot over a little bit. Everybody, let's all sit. Let's stop for a second and let's talk about jurisdiction. I know that's a lot for people to. I was in Los Angeles, California, when I dealt with Sean Combs in one of his mansions. Did you hear me? Mansions, plural. Okay. Do we know what plural means? For some of the, I know that I'm not talking to those who got it up here. I'm talking to those who don't, and they're so bred into the chaos and confusion. So I'm trying to help you too. I really am. I got some patience. It's because this woman had patience with me. Other than that, it wouldn't have been there. Anywho, jurisdiction. If you got a traffic ticket, let's say you live in the state of Utah, and you got a traffic ticket in Utah, but you live in Mississippi, and you decide to go back home to Mississippi because you're driving, you got that traffic ticket in Utah, right? But you're in Mississippi. Can you just decide, and I'm going to get home to Mississippi, and I'm going to pick the courthouse that is the closest to me, and I'm going to walk into that courtroom, and I'm going to say, hey, I want you to listen to what happened when I got pulled over. I'm deciding that I want to be here to tell you what happened. I'm deciding for the law that this is what I want to do, and you're going to listen to it. I was in Los Angeles, California when this happened. Are we with me on jurisdiction? This case is based in New York City. I was in Los Angeles, California. Those are two separate coasts. If we can build the case in the state of California, and we could talk about the children there, because I was a child. Oh, that's another one. Get closer. I know. Hold on. Come here. Bring it in. I was a child. Yep. Hold on. I was a child. I was 15 years old.
Oh,
I wasn't 19 like Cassie when I was going through 3 days, 72 hours of things like that, of what you heard. I wasn't 19. I was 15 years old in the custody. Here we go. I belonged. I was a ward of the state. That means I belonged to Riverside County Child Protective Services. They were my legal guardians at the time. So this woman wasn't even in the picture at the time. Imagine that. This was my predators doing in the beginning. Multiple predators. They all linked. You'll see. One day you'll see. The Panthers are all linked. And one day you'll see who they're really covering for. I see some people are jealous of their step siblings. But I was in Riverside County Child Protective Services custody when I dealt with Sean Combs and his mansion at an elite party. I was not in New York City. I was in Los Angeles, California. So first of all, for those who are wondering, why aren't you sitting on that trial? I'm not at that red carpet event because, first of all, of jurisdiction. Second of all, did you hear me say the red carpet event? Do y'all see the people fangirling outside of the red carpet event? Do you see the Black Panther party that's going on? Do you see the charade? Did you one time find out about what's going on with the children? No, you heard wild stories. Not at one time did even a content creator, have you heard any of the content creators stop and say, if this happened to Cassie Ventura at 19 years old, where was his minor children at the time, for number one? For number two, who else was at this big party, extravagant party that you had to put your cell phones down for, was packed out, that the jurors watched videos of? Who else was there? You're just telling me that this party was just Sean Combs? Okay. I'm not on that trial because they're not talking about the children that were trafficked on that case. Why would they not talk about the children? Because you're going to involve CPS, and that's a way bigger fish than Sean. It's a way bigger fish than what Maureen Comey and her family have going on too. You know, Maureen Comey is the prosecutor. I don't know if you guys know who James Comey is, but James Comey is her father. Now, before we get into that, Maureen Comey never asked anyone, have you seen witness children? At any time during these parties, not once. If Cassie Ventura was 19 years old, if Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jay-Z was 31 when Beyonce was 19 years old. If Fat Joe made a song called Sweet Mama, was it Sweet Mama or Little Mama or something? I'll send that to you so I can correct that. Excuse me, here, hold on. Let me make sure I got that right. I don't want to misquote that. But he made a song about it. You can look in the lyrics. He tells you and puts in his own diary of how he raped a 16-year-old girl. And now she's getting ready to sue him. When are we going to talk about minors from 2006? The minors from 2004, 2005, 2009. When we
I
talk about
mean,
that, it'll be over.
well, see, the problem is, Allie, okay, you're not going in there and saying, objection, I have a testimony, and getting up on the stand. That's your fault. You need to do that.
Hold the court.
Girl.
Everybody stop. I'm here. I'm here. And because social media told me now and tell my story, you're supposed to listen to me because social media told me to just walk in here and tell you that I'm here. Oh, we're cutting out.
Uh, it's been some little stuff happening the whole time, but prayerfully we're recording fine. Prayerfully the playback will be fine. Girl, you about to get me started and playing around.
Can't hear you.
I know you got a lot of stuff you want to share with us today, and I got a few questions, myself, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to do too much, but
Yes,
I can
please.
sit here. We can have us a whole little trial right now. Look, let me go find me some specs from somewhere. Order. Oh, let me stop. Oh Lord. Um, and this is how things happen, friends. Like when the Lord is at work, the enemy tries to raise this little ugly head. But we rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Ali's gonna be able to lock back in, and we'll be able to continue the conversation. But what y'all think so far? What do y'all think so far, friends? She gave us a timeline of her life. Um, she gave us, like a quick little snapshot of what that looked like. Obviously, she talked about the home abuse and things of that nature that she dealt with. She told us that up until a certain age, she left the home due to the abuse. And then now, she gave us a little taste of the situation with the elite parties. And if she doesn't answer your question, you guys should be real, real good and have a really good answer now of why she isn't on that current case or charade that is currently happening. So, as prayerfully she's able to go ahead and log back in. I feel like quite a few questions that people come here on this channel asking over and over and over again have been answered through this video already. So look, you're welcome. And to God be the glory for everything that he has done to put this moment in place. Like I was telling her earlier, I'm definitely grateful to her. I mean, obviously, this conversation is one of the pillars of GSL. And, regardless, we're going to try our best to continue to stand and keep you guys as informed as possible. And I'm thankful that she even took the time to come and share with us today, because like I said, it's been a while since since our last video together. I should go back and look and see when that was, but yeah, our last video together was definitely years ago. And uh and so yeah, I'm definitely great. And like I said earlier, this is technically her first GSL talk show appearance officially, because when she first came, it was more so like just a pop-up conversation. And then after that, she came up again. It was another pop-up situation because her things was going crazy on her end with her device. And so we offered GSL, and she came and talked to us about porn at that particular time. So y'all should be able to see those videos in the Alec Carter playlist. I know y'all, I don't know how y'all feel about us in the channel, but hopefully you guys got a little understanding about us and our background. I think if you just check out that playlist, you'll be able to see how things transpired between me and Allie and how we met and all that different type of stuff. I guess I'm just trying to make time at this point, so hopefully that should be able to log back in. But yeah, let's take a look at real quick if I can, because I put my phone on airplane mode so I can make sure I didn't get any distractions. But I'm gonna take it off just in case so I can see if she needs me or whatever. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Allie Carter playlist while we are waiting. So, going to our channel, okay. And like I said, so her playlist pretty much consists of our previous conversations. We had at least two conversations together years ago, And then the rest of them are different videos that she wanted people to share over the years. And so right now that playlist has about 103 videos. And so 4 years ago is when I made my video uh, in response to me listening to her and wanting to help. I did what I call the Alley Challenge, and that's how I guess I stood out in the masses of the many people that started to follow her at that time. And then our first conversation was, it says, 4 years ago. I don't know if the date is gonna be on there. I think she's coming in. Awesome. Look, we're just going to look, little history. You good? Can you hear me? Hopefully it's
Feel too real.
yeah. Look, I know how the enemy do. You look, it's getting
Something in that.
look, too much truth coming out. But I was just reminded the people that they can always catch up on a lot of the
You kind
things.
of sound underwater, sis. I don't know if it's
Um, your
still me.
your image is frozen on my end, but I hear you fine. Okay, wait, you're moving now. You're moving.
Okay.
Okay, you look okay.
You're
You look like
starting to
you
clear up. Yeah.
good. Look, to God be the glory. Yes, yes, yes. She's back, y'all. All right. I done told the people that you done answered a lot of the questions that people have come here and asked over and over and over again. I feel like this first few minutes has already answered those questions. So hopefully we won't have that. Oh goodness. As you guys can see, they're still on the road and whatnot as well. Um, I do have some questions for her that I hope I get a chance to ask. But if not, hopefully she'll come back and visit us again. I guess look, I'm just so spoiled because she just comes and says hello. Oh goodness, she texts me that it keeps kicking her out. I don't know if we need to start over. Okay, she says she's gonna try to come in on another device. So look, the devil be busy. Y'all pray. Anybody watching, y'all go ahead and pray and everything like that. Who knows, man? We might even throw in some extra commercial breaks or something. I don't know. Because, yeah, I definitely want to just, give her the space and opportunity to be able to share as she wants. Because she has quite a few things that she wanted to share with us tonight, as well as, like I said, I do have some more questions that hopefully that you guys want to know as well. I have some more questions that I wanted to ask her that I don't think I've heard her touch on. So, yeah, let's see. I guess I will. Maybe I will pause for now, or should I just keep going, Lord? What do you want me to do? What should I do, Lord? Um, she said she was going to try to log in on another device. Oh, let me see. Let's see.
Aha.
Right.
That worked.
Yes, and it's looking fine. Oh, well, now you kind of paused again on your beautiful smile. Oh, and now you're moving again. Okay, okay, okay.
And then you pause. Okay, I can hear you. There we go.
Awesome, great. We are back. Look, I said, we'll just, we're gonna make this work now. We're gonna make it work. I guess they used to pauses and stuff. Oh, I mean, this only happens with you, Allie.
It's not you, it's me. I'll take it. Everybody say every day, it's not you, it's me.
Oh goodness! Look, one day look, we're gonna remedy this because we're gonna be in person one of these old days. Look, I'm
Yeah,
claiming it. I'm believing it. One
you
of these
know,
old, one of these.
one day.
Then look, we ain't gonna have. Then I guess all the computers will start shutting down, the cameras and the lights, because that's what
It's
will
happened.
happen.
Trust me, it's happened. MK Ultra's no joke. It's happened.
Oh goodness. Well,
Man.
I mean, I don't know if you want to pause for a second and answer some of my
All
questions.
right, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So, I mean, this is just some general things, man. I'm just curious about you, sister, because I know, look, we always talk about heavy stuff, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. I guess I just want to know, like, what do you want life to look like. So I got it written down. Look, I don't usually write down the questions. I usually just ask people. My son, I'm coming prepared and asking some questions. All right. I got a little Allie on here today. All right. So I heard you say numerous times that you want to go back to school. So what is it that you want to go back to school for?
I am a kinesiology major, and I'm a double major actually, a kinesiology major and a business major. Originally, um, I am a volunteer cheer coach, dance teacher for special needs kids for all ages. Um, and my heart is always in a place where I used to say all the time, God has an amazing sense of humor, because I used to say I want to teach, and um, one day I want to have a line wrapped around a building to teach, and I was talking about dance, and now I've been teaching a lot on on the internet, but originally um, I love to teach the babies, adults, anybody that's in my eyesight is my baby. I can't have kids myself because of all the trauma. So I really admire being able to watch someone grow, whether it's accomplishing something, learning a skill. I know how long it took me one time to teach somebody to roll backwards, and it was just the best day ever when they were like, "I did it." I'm like, yes. um, so I've always dreamed of this place of my own, a place where foster kids, all kids, special needs kids, um, competitive dance kids, any person at any age could come into and have a place to release. I'm not the best dancer. I am not a pro. I just love to feel free, and dance has been my therapy. I love that quote that when words fail, dance speaks. So I love to dance, and I love to just feel that freedom. And I wanted to be a dance teacher and open a studio myself. All of those things are kind of changing now. And I still love the kinesiology major. Um, I still want to finish it out. I've been in the same community college for 13 years now, 12 or 13 years. Which, as you know, a community college is a 2-year college usually. Um, 4 years if you're really struggling. But because I was always threatened by the way my units were meshed with another foster kid, so at one point I was taking another foster kid's classes and she was taking mine. And the school did that of irresponsibly mixing foster kids' units together as if you don't have enough. Um, so I've been in the same community college just trying to accomplish something, and I'm really smart. I can do it. It's just being able to go and not being bothered. I've been threatened on campuses. I've had to have someone with me on campus because of the threats. I found threats in the bathroom of the classrooms that I'm closest to. It's been a lot. But I would love to just be able to. I know a lot of people are like, what's the point of the degree? It's for me to say that I did it, because um, coming where I come from, I just wanted to be able to say I accomplished something that I wanted to do, and I got something to show for it, whether it's a piece of paper or not. So I really would love to just be able to go back to school um, and have some peace. I really want to teach again. I feel so free when I'm able to just teach. You know, being able to talk to people through art. Art is a reflection of life, like you see in these lyrics and things today. People tell you they're kind of like their diaries. So I love to reflect and help people grow through art, through music, through dance. Um, and I would really love to be able to teach again one day. That's a goal. I know I talked to you in the chat room the other day with a few other heroes in regards to being able to just teach classes maybe virtually or something. Um, if someone gave us the opportunity to be able to walk into a studio again with security to say, I could be able to teach a class and no cameras, that would be amazing. I don't do it for them. I don't care about money. I know choreographers get paid bank. I don't care about that. Even when I was working as a choreographer, I was the one that was always giving people money back, like, hey. take this and do something beautiful for the kid. It was an honor to be able to teach, and I don't need more than I need. So um, I would just love to be able to teach again, to be able to teach dance again, um, be able to go to school and be able to be just left alone. I don't see us on the internet past 2026. My mom and I are looking into writing a book, and we never thought we would get there either. It's just at this point, it feels like we've done everything that God has asked us to do and that we can do. Um, we have put out the truth. We have, like I said, reopened wounds and tried our best. We have always brought people back to the children. Even if people were mudslinging, backbiting, chaos, confusion, crazy, we have always, always, always said, hey, let's bring it back. I'll explain this, but let's bring it back to the children. And that's been my only goal. So I know that when we sign off in 2026, I pray to God that those who have watched this, um, those who may have just watched this today and never even knew about my story. I know my life, my childhood, my story is big, and for a lot of people, it's unfathomable, and it's scary, and it is for me too. Um, but it's not just our reality; it's everyone's reality. It just depends on which way you want to look at it. We're all in this together. This is everybody's war, and I'm not saying that we will ever stop fighting. It would be nice to be able to get out of the car. All of our things are in this car. It would be nice to get out of the car. Um, for my mama too, she's been driving around the United States of America for 5 years, trying to make sure that we stay safe. And I know some people don't understand that either. Virginia Jeffrey, she was one of the Epstein victims, and she was supposedly killed. And I know I'm not the only one that doesn't believe that. Um, and there's so many victims that you have seen that come up missing, or drown in a shallow lake after paddleboarding and can't, don't know how to stand up or grab onto a paddleboard, um, being Hillary Clinton, or stuff like that. I know you know what I'm talking about, but we keep moving like this because we know um, there's a chance that we can become sitting ducks, and we don't want to die without the truth. So we have made a dead man switch, um, an updated dead man switch. And if you guys ever seen that video, and it would be coming from a profile like Miracles, it would be coming from Miracle as well. It would be coming from profiles that are real if ours get knocked down. And it would be me saying, if I died today, um, care every single name, every place, every location. If I have a license plate, if I um, have the children's names that go with them, I will. If we're no longer here, there's no point to hold things so close to our chest. We do that because we know that the justice system is rigged, like you're seeing. Some of the sex trafficking charges, things like that, are being dropped, and you see that a lot of these people get slaps on the wrist. Um, You're seeing the hotel manager that was on Sean Combs' case. At first, you didn't hear anything about it. It never existed. And all of a sudden, you see the hotel manager guilty. You've seen the maids and the things that cleaned them up. They were paid off. Guilty. The people that witnessed everything, from the abuse to the relationship to being at the parties before a certain hour, guilty. Um, Nobody wants to talk about the in-between. There are people that are cleaning up all the baby oil, all the sex toys. When I was forced to be at the Playboy, I watched everything. And when you're supposed to sit still the way I had to, when you are kind of disassociating um, after so much pain, you notice things that people don't. And I watched the people that came in to grab and revamp or clean or bring in more sex toys, and they're just everyday people. Um, they're guilty. You have some of the FBI that you're seeing that is holding information, and all of a sudden the information comes up missing, and so many other things like that. It's guilty. Um, our justice system is rigged, and I feel like my mom and I have done everything that God has told us to do, everything in our power. everything that we could try. Um, and, many people sit on the internet for a notoriety, a media cookie, money, fame, um, views, clicks. It's never been about that for us. The truth is priceless. We went viral on accident. We just turned our cameras on, and for since 2020, um, a lot of you have seen our faces because we just said here to the people. This is we've tried private investigators. We've tried the court systems. I've told y'all several times that we went to court. Um, We've talked to the FBI. We have the police reports. We have everything that goes. And again, it's always swept because you get too close to the corruption. There are good people, but there's a double side to everything. From the military, the police, the people that you see, there's a double side to everything. And there's corruption everywhere. And no matter which way you spin it, it's all of them. Until someone is able to say, hey, let's talk about the children and pull that one string that's in this entire spider web and it's going to start unraveling everything, then I don't know what else we can do but try to find some type of peace. And I don't know if that'll be for long. I'm not saying that this is probably going to be the last time y'all see our face when 2025 ends, because I don't think people will ever leave us alone. um, People consider me their property, as you have heard with so many of these things that are going on since January. Even the content creators who feel like they're obsessed with us enough to think that we are their property or we are their business or they're forcing us to do something. You're watching predators, you're witnessing predators, and then you're paying for those predators to continue to not just traffic me and my pain, but to do the things that they do behind closed doors. And you wonder why this continues, because we're all guilty, and even the people who don't realize that they're a part of it are aiding it. So I sincerely, my mom and I sincerely don't know what else to do besides give you as much truth as we can, again, for the rest of this year. There's so many people uncovering themselves. So I feel like, hey, I didn't do it. So maybe now that they've uncovered themselves, I can continue dropping documents that were redacted. So maybe one day people will wake up to the truth. I don't know if that day is going to be when we're dead. I pray not. Um, I pray that people don't just stop from here and it gets swept under the rug. This was the biggest window of opportunity that we had this year to do something, to push and budge on the truth of child sex trafficking. Your news outlets are guilty. Your investigative journalists are guilty. The teachers, some of the teachers in your schools, your doctors, attorneys, lawyers, you're seeing that. Everybody has a part in this war. And a lot of people don't know which side to stand on. And I don't know, but I think that the best side to be on is the side against the pedophiles. But that's that's hard for some. It's woo realization, but it's hard for some people to understand unless it's personal and it's happening to them or theirs. And I never wish that on my worst enemy. I would never wish anything that I went through on my worst enemy. But I don't know what else to do as far as what we have been doing besides maybe see if we can find some type of peace. And I don't know what that means for us. Um, I don't
Well,
know.
I have another question. It's in reference to that. So, let's think about that piece. Let's think about it for a moment, right? My question is, what is your ideal living situation? Because I know it's not the car, and I'm pretty sure y'all don't even want no mobile house at this point. I'm assuming,
No.
right? So what would your ideal living situation be? You ain't got to tell me locations just in case y'all want, duck off there.
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah.
just to be able to have our own place and things out of storage. We have so many things that are still in a storage sprinkled around the United States now. Um, we had an acre of a property. We had um, our life was always this. This is never. It was just not on the internet. And I was a vault before. I wasn't talking at all. So I was, honestly, and I could say that because I do know that it's true. I was in denial for a while. I didn't want to talk about anything. I didn't want to be the girl that I was. I didn't want to be the victim. that everybody talked about, I didn't want to talk about it. So when I was adopted at 19, 20 years old, through an adult adoption, look it up, you can do that. I know that's so confusing for some people, but I was adopted by this twin of mine, this easy white chocolate over here. Look at it. Like, I know she looks just like me. But I was adopted at 19, 20, and from there I wanted to live as normal as it could be for me, and I was able to start again. I was able to feel what it was like to go to school and work with my clothes on and do the right things that I could do, just because people just saying I'm proud of you because they're proud of you, being in your presence because they want to be there, not because they want something from you, um, loving me unconditionally without conditions of what I can do for them, or being someone's punching bag or sex toy. It stopped. And the second that it stopped, I didn't know how to act for a minute. I was like, this is unreal. This is what I've always wanted. I was a hypersexual kid at one point because of the trauma. So many people turn certain ways. One minute it's don't touch me, and I don't want anybody to touch me. And I went that way for a little bit. I gained a lot of weight, and I was just like, I'm happy, and I don't want to look like the person that I was always supposed to be, under 104 to 110 pounds. And if you look up, like in those Walmarts, and if you look up kids in your area that are missing locally, you'll see who's trafficking weight. And what I mean by that is they want to keep you at a certain build. And so a lot of the times when you see somebody snatched, you'll see their weight. And if you look, some of those kids are between 104 to 110. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get snatched because your weight. Trafficking has no age, sex, weight, preference. Male and female. A lot of the guys don't want to talk about things, but it is male and female. Very much more male than it was before because of the LGBT community that we have now. But I was in denial, and I wanted to just be. And I was able to for a little bit until they found me again. And that meant being a peer coach, a volunteer dance teacher, a special needs teacher. I went to school. I worked for a restaurant for a little bit. I was able to work, and I told my mom I want to earn my own money for a second. I never was able to see any of the money that people made off of my pain like you see now. Everybody that is, I'm the only one that's not making money off of my pain, but you see a lot of people are. And I just wanted to be able to earn that myself. So I started working myself, and it was just nice to be able to say I can do this, and it's not anybody else. And that's all I want. Again, I'm not asking for the world. I would appreciate a small space that we can have our own animals without being poisoned. We can be in our own space without having something in storage and having to pack it up. Or someone putting it up on the internet to try to kill us, and it's mainly, I don't know what it is, it would be easier to kill me. And I don't think that's the goal for some people. A lot of people are, why are you still alive? Because we move in. We're constantly moving, and God, number one, God. But we would love to be able to just sit still, and we would love to be able to have our animals and just go to school. And my mom is into photography, like flowers. She takes the same picture of the same flower like 50 times. I love you. She does. So, I mean, that's her jam. I'm not hating on it. I support it. It's my mama. But we're really sincerely simple people. And it would just be nice to be able to have our own space, have our things out of storage, and be left alone. And
preferably in the woods.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
I want to be at the top of Leave Us the Hell Alone Mountain, as far as I can get. and that's it. Like that's it. And I'm a outgoing, goofy personality. I have a lot of anxiety, but I'm a very outgoing personality.
And I love to be around souls that are learning something. So it would be hard for me to just be like, I just want to be back in the house, you know. But right now, it's the amount of people that we've had. I'm like, ugh. But we've met so many amazing people, and that's honestly who we will never be able to say thank you enough to. Those who have supported us, prayed for us, held space for us if you don't pray. And I've said that I've been so many different religions. I've looked for God in all the wrong places, and I've had satanic ritual abuse where um, someone has used the Bible as a weapon, word for word, better than a Christian. So I've been so many different religions that I don't push anybody towards God, because I know that you have to be able to see Him yourself. And I'm not religious; I have a relationship. Two different things. So I understand for those who are like, I don't believe in God. I get it, and I hope that one day that you can find a relationship with Him and get to know Him, just as much as you would a random stranger, just as much as you would me. I but I'm not going to push that. So I appreciate those who have said, hey, this message for the children is not about a religious view. It's about how can we all stand together. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to be best friends. I don't need anybody to get married. I just need people to see that the truth is the truth about the children, and not many people are standing for that. We can find outrage for everything else. We can You see the No Kings protest that filled the streets. You've seen Black Lives Matter that filled the streets. You've seen the immigrant situation that filled the streets. And there's so much anger, and people want something to be mad at. But when you sincerely give them something to be mad at, that this is an issue that is going on for every color, every walk of life, every culture, crickets. Just crickets. And I don't know what else to do about that besides we will always, until the last breath is out of our body, and I'm pretty sure we will be a nightmare after we are gone from here. But we will never stop fighting for the truth. That's what this all has been about, is the children. I was one of those kids, and I'm sorry to those who are watching this now, like you made it at 31 years old and I'm still sitting in this life, or those who are no longer here with us. And I have so many of those friends that I wish to God one day could have experienced something as simple as going to school, or knowing what it's like to earn your own money, drive your own car, feel somebody say, I'm proud of you just because, or be loved unconditionally. I'm so pissed that they didn't get that. Um, but I'm trying for those who uh, are still here. Um, you got to make a decision. I made a decision at 16 years old to move, and it wasn't easy. And you see that you can't just get out of the life. You see that. And you see that it just doesn't end here. We were talking earlier about Fat Joe's case. The song is called Sweet Mama. If you take a look at that, uh, I'll send you over that to look over, Miracle, of what I was talking about with the lyrics. But she was a 16-year-old girl, and now she's trying to find some type of healing and saying this happened to me. That song was about me. Um,
Mm.
so I thank those of you who have sat here and said, hey, something there. I may not understand everything, but the one thing that I can understand is we are talking about the truth about the children, and that's why you're here. And I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Um, no matter where we are, no matter what happens, I will appreciate you so much. And I know that there's so many um, who can't say thank you that would love to say it and that would appreciate you, because nobody in the beginning, nobody looked back. In the beginning, nobody stopped, And now I know a lot of people are late, but there's so many people here that know that something's not right. From the moment that you saw me, to the moment that you seen another survivor, to the moment that you look into your own area locally and see how many kids are missing, but you didn't get an Amber Alert, you didn't see them on the news, you didn't hear about anything. You don't see a parent looking for them, you don't see a guardian, you don't see anybody that had this child actually out in the streets fighting for them. But you probably will see their dead body at one point, or come across a story about them and be like, I wish I could have, or I should have, or I would have. But so many people are wrapped up in watching something, and wanting to be angry about something, but in reality, we're all a part of something really, really big. And it's scary how so many people don't see it, but the majority of us that do see it are barely making splashes in an ocean. I feel like a lot of the times we're mopping the ocean, trying to, again, I'm trying to show you this side, and I'm trying to show you the satanic side, and I'm trying to tell you that devil is standing right in your face, and you just walking right, okay, and then the demons are right over there. Nope, not gonna see that. And then you got the Brooke Shields from back when, so we can go generation to generation, from Shirley Temple to Blue Lagoon to, you can go from all over the place. We could talk decades on this truth, but what are people doing with the information that they have? Nothing. And that's the hard part, because there's only so much, Miracle, and that is what I appreciate you for the most too, because there's only so much in your power. You're doing what you can do as a Black woman, as a mother, as a content creator, as a podcaster. You are doing what you can do, honestly, to bring the truth to people, no matter who calls you out your name, no matter what somebody makes up about you, no matter what things they come up with. You are still doing your best. And that's all that I'm asking for is people to try to do something. And you're doing it boldly, because your face is out there, your name is out there, you're here. There's so many people that hide behind a username or a fake profile. There's fake profiles of me. There's a real official Allie Carter. You gotta say you're official when you're official. But there's a real Allie Carter on TikTok that has over 100,000 followers. That's not me. Did you hear me? That's not me. I'm not on TikTok. There is someone taking my pain and then causing confusion and then making money off of it, the same way they are on X. I'm not on X. I don't even know how to use X. I don't even know what buttons to push to touch X. I have a 90s Nation News account that's ran by some of what we call heroes of ours, and we send them posts to put up. But we're not on X and we're not on TikTok at the moment. But there are people who are impersonating us to sell our pain for their gain. I don't know what else to do anymore. Some people have asked us about a live event one more time, and it would be nice to meet people. It would be nice to meet a lot of the GSL supporters too, but I don't know what else to do from there besides another interview. I don't know. We were talking about it. We were thinking about it. Miracle and I both, but I don't know. I don't know that our piece is simple. Just like the truth is simple and it's priceless. That's all we want.
Well, sister, I know for some reason you was acting like you wanted to just talk for an hour, but we've already surpassed that. So I mean, I can, give you you can take your leave, or we can keep on talking. It's up to you. No pressure.
You got any
I'm
more?
just letting you know I'm trying to honor your wishes.
I know. I was like, maybe we could try an hour, because some people's like time span and attention. Like, I can't watch the whole thing. Please do. I mean, people take so much time to digest BS again, but and easy. People don't mind taking that in easy, but you have to burn it in, sit for a second, and have some patience with the truth, because the patience is what will tear you up. The BS, the lies, the chaos, the confusions. God is not the author of confusion. Satan is. So that confusion, people love to just, I'll sit in this. I will take it in. But I wanted to try to keep this at an hour, because I was like, maybe we need to do this in doses. And I'm not saying this is it. I feel like we can. I think we're going to continue this for a little bit. I know we are. This is not it. This is not it. We want to do a few more things with you, Miracle, because I just see your discernment, your honesty. It's really hard to come by. I know there's a few other creators that we have. I know you got a chance to talk to Tez Moses. And there's so many different creators that we've gotten a chance to meet in the private chat that we have on Telegram. If you would like into that room, please send a message to Miracle. Please send a message to the admin, and we'll try to get you in there. But I don't know. There's so many platforms that want to rage bait or clickbait or something, and I don't really know. I don't know. I'm not seeing the same integrity that you hold, the same discernment that you hold with a lot of content creators. So I'm not really that thrilled about doing it. We weren't trying to do any more interviews, but I would love to continue this with you. If we could do another part, if that's cool with you.
Okay, well, like I said, you're always welcome here anytime. Look, I'm probably gonna still talk to her, but look, y'all gotta go then. Bye. I'm sorry. No, I mean, is there anything else you want to share with the people before we go?
Um, if you could do one thing to educate someone for an hour, I would appreciate you. If you could, if you could send information that you know of to the people in your contacts, if in your phone, if you could have a conversation. I know some people are like, I don't know about going to stand out alone. Do something, anything, anywhere, anyone. Tell someone the truth. Educate them. Plant the seed. Because I never wish this issue personally on even our worst enemy. But you are the first responders to this war. You see that. You guys are the first responders. You're sitting here watching this, play back this video. You are the first responders. This is your war as well. Whether you hate me or not, this is your war as well. What kills me the most is the people that hate me the most have children that I pray to God never have to experience the things that I went through myself. And to those who are preying on our downfall, you can see what they're doing to their own children, because it looks like, to me, same life that I lived is the same life that the people that are obsessed with our downfall is they're doing to their own children. So I pray that you can, if you get a chance to share my story, if you get a chance to tell something of my truth, I am forever grateful. Thank you. But I'd appreciate if you never stop speaking the truth about the children. That's all I'm asking. If you don't even believe me, if you're watching it and I don't believe her, all right, cool. But if you could speak about the children that are missing locally in your area, the trafficking that's going on all around you, the information that is endless all over the place. You don't have to believe me. I don't give a damn if you don't believe me. I don't need your belief. I just want to know if you could be a voice for the voiceless, because that's all that matters. And if you can't, then good. That means that this is not the fight for you. And that means that you're a part of the problem. So, I mean, that helps to know. But please do something, anything, anywhere to speak for the children. And I pray to God that we get another chance to be back here on GSL.
Well, you're welcome anytime, sister. And
Well, then we'll be back. No.
Yes, you definitely welcome anytime. And like I said, I still got more questions and
Do you
everything.
actually?
So
Okay, well let's do another part. We'll hit it with some more questions.
all right, well look, we'll see y'all next time then.
Love y'all.
Thank you so much for watching the GSL Talk Show, and thank you to my girl, my sister, Miss Allie Carter. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And friends, check out Allie's website, all her content, and the rest of her endeavors. Have a good night. I know you don't love me.